Let's go!
I can confirm via my people, my sources, to which I have many of them. The elves are considered essential workers this year. So there will be a Christmas, kids. You will be getting presents from Santa Claus. Welcome to the weekend. Nick Karski and Zenski with you here. Isn't that good news? Aren't you happy to hear that? I mean, that's just got to be the biggest news of the century.
That's amazing news. I'm more curious about who your sources are at the North Pole.
Journalism 101. Never unveil your sources. Come on, Zenski.
Did you ever take a journalism class at IC?
No, I did not. I just kind of had that gift, or lack thereof, I guess, of being a journalist during my time at as being a student at Ithaca College. And yes, now I use my journalistic integrity to just, take over the airwaves of Ithaca, New York with an ESPN radio affiliate. Mm-hmm.
I remember we mentioned on a show a few weeks back how after one of the countdown shows we did on the Commons, you had a woman come up to you and basically try to set you up with her daughter.
Yes,
right.
That did happen.
Have you had any other fan interactions with people around Ithaca in your days since?
I don't like talking about that stuff.
Why not?
Because it's just weird. It's creepy. It's very bizarre. Like, it gets even worse when they find your social media and they try to add you to your social media. Like, your personal accounts that you just try to keep super, 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 super private and, behind the curtain.
Well, I was going to say, who else has tried to hit you up over social or hook you up with somebody?
It doesn't matter. None of that absolutely matters. It's December, Zenski. We should be celebrating the holidays. We should be so excited that December is here finally. And instead we turn this into let's dive deep into Nick's personal life over the last decade or so.
That wasn't my intention. All right, relax. Here's my question about December, though.
There's a reason why I drink.
Yeah. What do you have tonight? That is a glass of white.
Just a glass of
Chardonnay.
Riesling.
Riesling's a good one.
Finger likes Riesling. Delicious.
Not a wine guy, but I do appreciate a good Riesling.
What do you have to say?
No, how did we get to December? I know that's the most rhetorical question this year. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, it's December 1st."
It's the most cliche thing to do is to be like, "Wow, how did we get to this month? Wow, how did we get to this month already?"
But I feel like this year, it actually kind of applies, right?
Well, I feel like going from November to December is a prime example of that. Where this perfect example of this. We were having a conversation, myself and a guy who stops in the studio once a month, Eric Norson from Wagner Valley Brewing. Highly recommend if you're looking for a Christmas gift, by the way. He puts together some great stuff. He's a great brewer. And I told him, I said, I hate to be that person, and we always seem to bring this up in conversation, but how in the hell did we actually get into December? And It's totally true. Like, we just kind of skipped past November, what felt like in a blink of an eye, and here we are now, the final month of the year. Yeah.
Our good friend Steph, who's been on the show randomly with those phone call bits that we've done in past weeks, she posted on Facebook earlier. It was a recap of 2020, January, February, quarantine, December.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Right.
Did anything happen this past week, by the way? Because it feels like it was pretty slow, to be honest.
I feel like we had a jam-packed news show last week covering the Grammys news and the weekend and the Super Bowl and this and that and the other thing. But pretty light week, but I think we still were able to dig up some headlines.
Let's do it.
Here's what you missed.
All right. Starting off, I know you'll appreciate this one because you are, as am I for that matter, a fan of Lady Gaga.
Oh, love me some Lady Gaga, man.
Can't beat her. But she has teamed up with the team at Oreo to spread magical messages of kindness with limited edition cookies. The pop star partnered with Oreo to release a line of cookies inspired by her feel-good dance album Chromatica, which is a great album, by the way.
It is a very good album.
The limited edition cookies will be available in 6 cookie packs at convenience stores starting in January. Fans can sign up for Lady Gaga X Oreo Stan Club next month to be notified when the full packs are available. And this is in an effort to spread musical messages of kindness throughout the country. The Bear has announced Sing It with Oreo, a campaign that encourages fans to send musical messages to loved ones for the chance to win an assortment of Lady Gaga swag and experiences, including concert tickets and a meet and greet pending COVID-19 restrictions. I think this is great.
Sign me up. Do I have to sing? Can I sing right now to get my chance to meet Lady Gaga?
You need to cover Bad Romance. Go.
We can't do that.
I know.
Oh, Gaga, I love you. No, it's got to be for your family, right? You got to like say something and like talk about your family. Isn't that what the qualifications are? Like the qualifiers
it looks like you need to send a message to loved ones, which, again, not a bad thing this year.
Courtney, I love you. I do.
Gaga. You might want to revisit that.
Oh, you want me to redo it again?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Valiant effort, though. So these are dubbed Oreograms.
Sign me up. I'll buy 10 packs of them. I don't care. I'm a sucker for this kind of merchandise.
So I think this is a great cause. It's a great thing. The only thing that's throwing me off it's in, the classic blue Oreo package, right? These are in a hot pink and silver Oreo package with Lady Gaga's name emblazoned on the front of it. And the Oreos themselves are pink with Chromatica themed like embossments on them. And then green filling.
Yeah.
Green cream filling.
Sign me up. Like I said, I'm a sucker for endorsed foods.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you've got somebody on the front cover, like, of a product, I'm going to probably consider buying it. Like, I remember when Chex Mix, I think, had the Backstreet Boys on a bag. I immediately grabbed the bag, and I said to myself, I'm bringing this into work, and I'm going to chow down on this stuff. And I did not I did not live that down from some people for, like, weeks on end. But you know what? I didn't care. I didn't care whatsoever.
If they only knew of your love for the Backstreet Boys, that would make sense.
Well, they did. That's the kicker. They knew my love for the Backstreet Boys, which is why I picked it up. I got a box of Josh's Jags, sitting here, not in here, but sitting in the kitchen right now, which is the official cereal, if you will, of Josh Allen, star quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
I was going to say, I'm not familiar with those.
You ever seen this before?
I have not, no.
Well, they're in the kitchen. That's the problem right now. Hold on. I got myself an idea.
Okay.
I got myself an idea because I feel like Josh's Jags need to be shown to the world. I have yet to open them up. I've heard some rave reviews about them, but then I also heard that the colors, which are blue and red, they make your look a little bizarre.
Oh.
That's what I've heard. So I'm a little intimidated to try this, but hold on a second.
You just called an audible.
Hello?
Hey, you want to do me a favor and grab the box of Josh's Jacks that's sitting in the kitchen right now and bring them in so I can show them to the people?
Of course, there's nothing else I'd rather do.
Oh, great. Thanks, dear. I love you. That's why I tried to write a song to her so I can meet Lady Gaga.
I feel like every week you find ways to show examples how you picked a winner in Courtney. Did you just do that on purpose?
Did I do that on purpose?
You did that on purpose.
What, pick a winner? Of course I picked a winner on purpose. The Josh's Jacks thing. No, I'm serious. Like, I will buy just about anything. Here they are. Thank you, dear. She's handing them to me. Look at this. Josh's Jacks. Let's go.
Wow. Oh, so they are blue and red, Buffalo Bills colored. Are they a version of...
They're like Fruit Loops, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's open these babies up real quick.
All right, you got to try these live on the air.
This is all because of Lady Gaga. We are sticking with this one headline and this one headline only because of Lady Gaga. My God,
how about you get the bag open first?
They're childproof. Okay, here we go. All right, so to show you what they look like, they are obviously indeed red and blue. Not nearly the red and blue that you see on the
It's a little more pastel-y.
Yes, but these they kind of resemble Fruit Loops, if you can kind of tell that faded sort of color. Thanks again, dear. Oh, she said you're welcome. Or maybe she told me to buzz off. I don't know. Oh, these are Fruit Loops.
Yeah, they're just the different colors, right?
I love it. I love Fruit Loops, man.
I think you have a new favorite cereal.
Look, anything that's got Josh Allen on the cover of it, I'm gonna love it. Just like anything that has Lady Gaga on the cover of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
What about if it had John Mulaney on the cover?
Transition.
You like that? John Mulaney is our next headline, and he says on a recent Jimmy Kimmel Live interview that he was investigated by the Secret Service after making a joke on Saturday Night Live. He said, in February, quote, in February, I did a joke that was not about Donald Trump, Mulaney said. The joke was about how it was a leap year, and leap year has been started by Julius Caesar to correct the calendar. And another thing that happened with Caesar was that he was stabbed to death by a bunch of senators because he went crazy. And I said, I think that's an interesting thing that could happen. So obviously you see how that could raise some eyebrows by those who were, responsible for protecting the president, right? Regardless of who it is. And so he basically said that he started to get investigated by the law enforcement because of that comment being a possible threat to national security.
This one I'm kind of torn on.
He was eventually cleared, by the way, obviously.
Because I feel like it's one of those things where, yes, you probably shouldn't say stuff in this climate because everyone is super hypersensitive, but at the same time, that's when I also say everybody stop being so super sensitive about things and quit being little babies.
Like, and he said, like, they had to, like, he said the person who I spoke to at the Secret Service was super nice. They saw that I had, like, no manifesto online. I had no history of, like, crazy suicidal or violent remarks posted anywhere on social media. He's like, this is the guy who created Stefan for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He's a stand-up comedian for a living.
Yeah. No,
he's harmless.
But the thing is, though, like I said, you unfortunately have to be careful in this climate. I mean, think of all.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
So many comedians, especially. Think of all of the ones. I mean, granted, there are just some bad people out there who are comedians and are in the funny industry, if you will. But there are also a couple of them who have done like really no harm, but they've gotten in trouble as if they have done quite a bit of harm. You know, you can't tell. Think of things 30 some years ago. Some of those jokes that those comedians like Richard Pryor and George Carlin and all those guys, like some of those jokes they would say back then, like you can't get away with any of that stuff now. I
was just gonna say, you think George Carlin could do his 7 dirty words bit? Yeah, not a chance.
No.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting. He was obviously cleared from posing any threat to national security. So John Mulaney is doing his thing. From John Mulaney to Elon Musk, the modern day Iron Man.
Oh, dear God almighty.
So how familiar are you with Elon and his one of his multiple companies, SpaceX?
Elon Musk. I'm sort of familiar with it, but the dude is just so full of himself, and I don't know. He's just everywhere. I'm over him. I'm over it.
Right.
I'm over it.
I never get that vibe, but I think he's obviously an intelligent guy. He's an incredible entrepreneur, but his company SpaceX is targeting the first crewed Mars mission as early as 2024. He was having an interview with a German CEO of a German media company this week, saying that they want to use one of their Starship rockets, this rocket that they're currently testing right now in some short little flights, to get people to Mars no later than 2026, but as soon possibly as 2024 if they are lucky. And that's just wild to me. Like, we just started this past May getting astronauts launched to the International Space Station from the United States soil for the first time since the retirement of the space shuttle, right? And now we're talking about half a decade later sending them to Mars, nowhere we've ever been before. That's just wild.
Let's do it. Let's put people on Mars. Let's see what happens, okay? The reason they want to do this is because of the meteor that came crashing through to Earth on Wednesday, and the sonic boom could be heard through Syracuse and Rochester and around the East Coast and everything like that. There's something that is watching us and sends a message and says,
God.
"Here we go. I'm gonna send this message to Earth." So what's the one place we turn to? We want to go discover Mars. Tell me that's not a coincidence. Karski,
Sure.
the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I'll I don't know what to say to that one. I don't. You just went off. Like, where did this meteor even land?
You didn't hear about
heard
this?
It? No.
No, this actually happened on Wednesday. So there was people just going nuts on social media, especially in the central New York area. People just saying, "Oh my gosh, did everybody hear that explosion? My house was rattling. What was it?" People were thinking it was the worst case scenario, maybe like a nearby, I don't want to say gas plant or, something exploding, right? And then as the news started trickling out more and more and more, there was belief that there was a meteor that was spotted up in Toronto or Ontario or something like that. Yeah. And as this meteor, which was apparently the size of a car, came crashing down towards Earth, there was a sonic boom, and it basically spread so far to where it could be heard from like Rochester, like all the way down potentially into I want to say Virginia is what I read.
Wow. I
Some
didn't hear
wild
about this,
stuff.
but that is crazy. And I know there have been they say meteors come into the Earth's atmosphere every day. They often will either just burn up before they reach the ground, or
Right.
just too small to cause any actual harm. But anything like zooming into the atmosphere at thousands of miles an hour, regardless of how small it is, it's going to do something. So I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't hear about this.
Imagine something the size of a small car.
Wait, they said it was the size of a small car?
That's if I recall.
That would destroy a city.
They said that
the asteroid and the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs was only the size of nothing comparatively speaking to something you would think is really large.
Man, I don't know. I just read the news. According to Spectrum News, the loud boom heard across the region was the meteor the size of a small car, and this came from the American Meteor Society. And it was a sonic
crazy
boom passing through the atmosphere. So yeah, reports of a fireball came from Canada, southern Pennsylvania, and even Washington, D.C., but no one saw it around the central New York area because it was too cloudy. So a gentleman from AMS, Robert Lunsford, the fireball report coordinator, apparently, he's the one that said that the meteor was likely the size of a small car.
Well, glad everyone's okay, or hope everyone's okay, because at least we haven't heard otherwise.
Well,
right?
and like I said, and now we all of a sudden want to go to Mars?
Okay,
Coincidence.
right. Take it up with Elon, all right?
Coincidence, huh?
All right.
Is it not?
All right. I don't think so, no.
Or is it just Elon Musk saying Elon Musk's things and saying, haha, I want to go to Mars?
He's been talking about Mars for a while, though.
He's
so
been
this is
talking
not
about a
new
lot
news.
of stuff. All right, Elon
All
Musk.
right. What do you got against Elon Musk?
I don't know. He just seems like he's full of himself.
Well, he's clearly he is the modern day Tony Stark, and Tony Stark wasn't full of himself.
Yeah, if I had the money, I could do all that stuff too.
That's right. What?
I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking of the awkward transition that we're going to go into right now to celebrate the holidays. Here I am ripping apart Elon Musk because I just am not a big fan of him, and now I'm going to say happy holidays, everybody.
So yes, I don't believe we said that on the show yet, but happy holidays. We are officially now in the time when it is appropriate to play Christmas music. So we talked about how that is a not okay thing to do before Thanksgiving, but now that we are past Thanksgiving, have at it.
Christmas movies.
Yeah.
You a big fan of them?
I watch them. Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a favorite, but Die Hard, Home Alone.
Home Alone's a good one. Die Hard, I've never actually seen, so I can't tell you if it's Christmas or if it's a Christmas movie or not.
Here's what you need to do. But in the next 3 weeks before Christmas, you need to watch Die Hard and tell me if you think it's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Because that is an age-old debate.
I'll
and
try
let us
to.
know. Let us know on social media in the comments of this show post or on a review of this show if you think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. But yeah, I mean, I think I've seen some Christmas movies. Why do you ask?
What are your thoughts on Elf?
I have seen it twice.
That's it?
Yes.
There are some people who will watch this 2003 film religiously.
Oh, Jenna, every year.
But I'm not talking about religiously like, hey, once a year. I'm talking about, hey, it's on TV again for the 4th straight day. People are going to watch it.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that religious.
I have found myself watching it, I think maybe 2 or 3 times already.
Okay.
And I'm usually not into it that much, but it is a pretty funny movie. It's very entertaining.
It
and
is.
I feel like it has quickly become a classic. And, you know, it's probably the quote unquote modern day classic because it's the only film from the 2000s that has really resonated up to this point when it comes to the holidays.
What about I mean, was Santa Claus? Was that a 2000s movie? Santa Claus 2?
No. That
were
was
those
when
90s?
we were kids, man. That was when we
Yeah?
were kids in the 90s. So that's when that was. But it got me thinking. There are a lot of memorable quotes from the movie Elf, to which some of them hopefully you would know. Maybe you don't know some of them. So I want to put you on the spot right here, right now.
All right.
As somebody who has seen the movie only twice or so, he says, I want to play a little game called Is It an Elf Quote? So
You spent a lot of time on that title, huh?
Yeah, I always do. That's how I always do my bits. I spend a lot of time on the titles.
Okay.
Is it an elf quote? I have 10 quotes here. Some may be from the movie. Some may not be from the movie. Zenski, it'll be your job to tell me whether or not it is an elf quote.
Okay. I am ready.
You're okay? All right, let's get to it. So don't drop the ball on this. First question. First quote, I should say. First quote. Is it an elf quote? Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite carol?
So wait, so it's like Buddy the Elf, comma, what's your favorite carol?
The quote reads, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite carol?
It is a quote. Okay.
It is almost the quote, Zenski.
Wait, did you manipulate these to...
Buddy the Elf answers the phone and says, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Not Carol.
Okay, so some of these you manipulated to make them seem... All right.
Next quote.
Oh, here we go.
Is it an elf quote? You smell like beef and cheese.
Yes.
Oh!
I don't know what's...
He's talking to the fake Santa that's at the mall. And he says to the fake Santa, you smell like beef and cheese.
Okay.
Next
right,
quote.
1 and 1.
1 and 1. Next quote. Son of a nutcracker.
Yeah, I feel like that has to be one.
Son of a nutcracker. I don't know when he says
Yeah.
it, but that's apparently a quote.
Right.
Okay. Is it an elf quote? Zenski, currently you're on the board 2-1. Well, 2 out of 3, I should say. The quote reads, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
No.
Wow! You hesitated on that one, but it's from the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which is a classic that I still have never seen.
Yeah, don't they like allude to it in the movie or something, or no?
I don't remember.
I
just know there was like some classic scene where like the little
You don't
girl-
remember? I don't remember.
The little girl's being held up by like some dude, and she's like, "Oh, daddy, daddy! Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings! Yay!"
Just like that.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right, 3 out of 4, not too shabby. Next quote. Is it an elf quote? Santa's workshop is bustling with toys from top to bottom for all the good boys and girls.
No.
Wow.
Is that's from like a Christmas poem or nursery rhyme or something, right?
Yes, it is. Yup. It came from my brain.
Okay.
You have such a pretty face. You should be on a Christmas card.
Yes. I could. That's when, he like sees the, I don't know, obviously an attractive woman.
I don't remember what scene it is. I think
I
it's
don't
when
either.
he's seeing the receptionist or like the front office worker or something like that, and he like at his dad's office. And
Oh,
he says it to her.
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
next one. Is it an elf quote? Does somebody need a hug?
Yes.
Woo!
Whoa!
Hey! Wow, you started off with a big swing and a miss, but since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
Let's go,
Not
baby.
too bad. All right, next one. Is it an elf quote? I'm in a store and I'm singing.
No.
And the streak comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing. That's what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is it an elf quote? There's a certain magic that comes with the very first snow.
Ooh. Yes.
Wow, you're on this streak, and then all of a sudden you just, man, not so good. It's a quote from Frosty the Snowman.
Okay.
Okay, final one for you. You have a chance now to really make this a big 7 out of 10 win.
Okay.
You're going to win regardless, but 7 out of 10 looks a lot better than 6 out of 10.
Okay. Let's
Final quote. Is it an elf quote? Blast this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant.
see. Yes. Ah.
That is a quote from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
All right. Well, that was a lot better than I expected.
6 out of 10. Take that thing any day, especially if you've only seen the movie twice.
How is that? With a little bit of intuition and some very minimal knowledge of the movie? Not bad.
No, it really wasn't too bad. I thought you did a pretty impressive job. Look, like I said, I like the movie. I'm not somebody who knows every single quote or scene religiously. Every time I turn on the movie on TV, because it's always on TV this time of the year, I always feel like I see the same exact parts over and over again. Like it starts from the same part, like middle of the movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'll still find myself watching it and cracking up during most of it.
It's like I could picture there's the scene when I guess he's working as the elf in the mall or the convenient or the store.
Yeah.
And they say Santa and he does his big like Santa, right? Like that
out.
whole, yeah. I do know a quote from that movie because when Jenna and I first moved in together, our first Christmas, we obviously watched it and we were living in Manhattan at the time.
Okay.
And there's a quote from the movie, The Yellow Ones Don't Stop, which is referring to the cabs. So that she quickly caught me on to that, and that's the one quote that I have committed to memory from the movie. But
The one part that I like is when he walks by this little rinky-dink ratty, like restaurant. It looks like, and there's a sign that's a neon sign that says "World's Best Cup of Coffee," and he stops in and then he says, "Wow, congratulations, World's Best Cup of Coffee!" Like, I mean, Will Ferrell just kills it in that movie, man. He really does. He does a great job.
he really
with
is
it.
good. Now you just need to watch The Office and see Will Ferrell in The Office.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see.
You have to go 7 seasons, but you'll eventually see him.
Oh, okay, good. All right, I'll think about it. Probably.
All right. I will get you to watch The Office.
All right. What else do we got on the docket for today?
So we haven't pulled this one out of our back pocket yet, but in talking about this week's show, we thought we'd take it back a bit. Back to our old days of doing this on the radio before we were podcasters. So we've talked about how we used to host this little show in Ithaca, New York called Countdown to the Weekend.
Yeah.
And one of our recurring segments on WICB was called Rules of Absurdity. It is a time that we take a step back to admire and scratch our heads about some dumb laws that exist out there. No rhyme or reason to them, They're just dumb laws that these unlucky citizens of these cities or states need to follow.
I bet you the listener or the viewer on YouTube can't guess what's coming next.
Can they?
Rules of absurdity.
So we decided we would bring it back because we haven't done it before, and we've had some questions about it, like where's rules of absurdity. So let's do it.
This whole discussion is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
I love that music, man.
Throwback song.
Ah, so good. All right. Where do you want to start?
You go first. I don't know. Just pick your
I'm going
poison.
first?
Just pick your poison somewhere in the
All right.
continental United States of America.
Okay, let's start up in Alaska. So in Alaska, there is a law in Juneau where flamingo owners are prohibited from bringing their pet into a barber shop.
Got a few of those lying around. I, planned on doing that actually.
Very winter birds, flamingos are, right?
Lord. I got one for you. In Arkansas. By the way, that's a great song by Chris Stapleton. Highly recommend. It is against the law in Arkansas to honk a car horn at a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
So if you're waiting outside for them to bring your sandwich out to you and they're taking a little too long to fix it, you can't do that.
More importantly, curbside pickup during COVID must be really, really shitty in Arkansas right now.
Ooh, sorry, Arkansonians or whatever you're called. In Arizona, it is illegal to refuse a person a glass of water.
I would hope so.
Yeah, that's like everybody needs water.
I feel like I've really heard that before, though. Like,
especially in a place like Arizona.
Hearing that for some reason or another, because for obvious reasons that people would need water out there.
It's 115 degrees there in the summer.
Here's a law in Hawaii. It comes from our good friends out there in Honolulu and all those other places. I don't know any other places. You cannot have more than one alcoholic drink in front of you at one time. That ruins a lot of things. That ruins a lot.
Like, everybody wants to go on this fancy Hawaiian vacation and like go to an all-inclusive and sit on the beach and drink. So you can only do that one at a time.
Don't double fist, man. I'm just the messenger. I am just the messenger. All right, give us one more.
All right, let's go to Indiana. It is against the law in Indiana to catch a fish with your bare hands.
Do they have bodies of water out there?
No, does it? It technically borders Lake Michigan.
Does it?
Part of it does. It looks like it. Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
At least from this map. I mean, literally on this map that I'm looking at, Indiana. The word Indiana is being covered up by
no bodies of water in Indiana. Just do a quick,
Hold on.
No. Don't even look at a map. Just do a quick Google search and just type in bodies of water in Indiana.
No, the northwestern corner of the state where Gary, Indiana is, if you know the Music Man, that it borders Lake Michigan. That's actually not too far from Chicago.
I've been to Gary, Indiana before.
You have?
I drove by it on my way to Chicago. Drove to Chicago to go see the Cubbies play a couple of games. Stopped in Gary, Indiana, just to see Michael Jackson and the Jacksons' childhood home.
I think was this after you graduated?
After I graduated? No.
When did you do this? I feel like
I did it last summer.
Oh, so yes, after you. Why do they feel like it was like?
I guess after I graduated, but it was almost a decade after that happened.
I don't know. You went to so many big summer concerts between seeing Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney and whoever else you could get tickets for. I lose track after a while.
Look, there's a time in your life, if you're a single adult male, and you're in your if you're in your early to like later 20s. Just go all out. If you want to go, if you want to go to that concert, pay the big bucks and go to that concert. If you want to go to a ball game, I tell you what, live a little, try to get those luxury box seats, make it happen.
Yeah, and you did that because I remember like we obviously stayed in touch, after school, and we'd just be catching up, and you're like, yeah, I'm really thinking about, like, there's these $600 Paul McCartney tickets.
Don't say that. Now, why are you throwing me under the bus like that? It's just like earlier to start the show. You're just like,
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Nick, tell me about all the interactions you've had on social media with people.
That's not something to be ashamed of. I think that's good that you invest in something like that.
I mean, come on, this
guy.
No, because here's the thing. A lot of people. Here's my reasoning for like the stupid amounts of money that I may or may not have spent going to certain events and certain
you experiences.
Don't be ashamed
of it.
No, I'm not ashamed of it because I look at it from the perspective of I've never really traveled out of the country or anything like that. People usually go on these big excursions, big trips and stuff like that, and I totally respect that. And I've always wanted to do that too, but I've always felt like I've had the chance to do that later on down the road in my life, if that's a possibility. So that's why to me it was always like, hey, Paul McCartney's coming. All right, let's throw down some bucks and go see him perform. Or hey, Derek Jeter's going to have a Derek Jeter Day at Yankee Stadium, just a couple of weeks before he retires. Boom, sign me up. Get me as close to that field as humanly possible. And I've had some great experiences, and I've been lucky. And that's because it's one of those things where I don't want to say I took some chances, but I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to live a little. Now that I'm in my 30s, I've absolutely slowed down. I plan to slow down. I'm, happily engaged and everything like that. And it's not like I'm running wild or anything.
Right. And I think, you took advantage of it. I don't think there's to your point, there's nothing wrong in that time of your life to shell out big bucks to see your childhood baseball star get honored at the house that Ruth built.
Oh, man. Can we just talk about how wild this was? Can I just walk down memory lane for a hot second?
Take us back to Derek Jeter.
It was
Day.
okay. I shouldn't be doing this because we're going to be wrapping things up here in a couple of minutes, but it was a once in a lifetime experience, like truly a once in a lifetime experience. Okay, because we got the Legend Suites seats, which are the ones that are the big padded seats right behind home plate and behind the dugout and stuff like that. So we were right behind the visitors' dugout for this game. My sister and I, we were the ones that went. I won't tell you how much money we spent. It was a stupid amount of money, but it was worth every damn penny of it. You get treated like a freaking king and or queen when you go to the games and you have those kind of seats, okay? Like, so many people wonder why those seats are empty when Yankees games are starting and
they're so
nobody's
expensive.
around. No. It's not because they're expensive. You know why? It's because people are inside eating like a 5-star unbelievable dinner.
Right.
Like, we're talking steak, we're talking like gourmet chicken wings, we're talking lobster tail, crab legs, all of this sort of stuff. Like, it's absolutely wild, the experience down there. So that was pretty cool. I'll never forget my sister and I, before we went to our seats, we saw this wall of candy, like just before the exit. And we both looked at ourselves or looked at each other like, are we allowed to take this? Because it was something that seemed like it was out of a movie, like genuinely. Like, you saw this, you're like, what is this? So we ended up taking some peanuts and stuff like that, getting ready for the games. Okay, get to our seats, great seats. Then they do the pregame ceremony for Derek Jeter. He comes out. They've got all these great guests they're going to have there to honor him. They've got like Joe Torre there. They've got Cal Ripken Jr. there. They have Dave Winfield there. At one point, the announcers, Michael Kay and John Sterling, who were the broadcasters for the team, they were doing the PA for this ceremony. And I think it was Michael Kay or John, it was one of the two, start saying, you know what, Derek, some people would say your popularity is as big as the globe and beyond, or something like that. And it goes all the way to space. I thought to myself, hold on a second. Space Jam? Was Michael Jordan here?
No.
And then they said, so we're going to go to the International Space Station where some guys have a quick message for you or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, come on, this is what you hyped it up for. But then Michael
Kay. Elon
Kay,
Musk on the International Space Station.
Right. But then Michael Kay comes to the podium and he says, Derek, before we wrap things up here or something like that, some people would consider you the Michael Jordan of baseball. And I lost my collective mind, and my sister
Right.
lost her mind. And as a child of the 90s, all of a sudden seeing Michael Jordan come out from the Yankees dugout and be all of like 100 feet away from us, that was just like chilling. Like, I
Yeah.
still, like, thinking about it, like all the baseball royalty and then Michael Jordan out there on the field to celebrate the number 2. Like, come on, man.
That's pretty cool.
Like, that's the stuff where it's worth it. So that's my message to everybody. If you want to do it, do it. You only live once, as Drake said.
You love that quote. You're still using that? That it was so 2016?
I'm a boomer. What can I say?
You're a millennial. You're not a boomer.
I'm a boomer.
All right.
What? Just let it
I
happen.
have nothing.
Just let
Fine.
it happen.
Well, I hope that we could get the world into a position where we could start going to these large in-person events in the very near future.
Yeah,
but
really.
until that time, enjoy the holiday season. Stay safe. Be sure to check out this podcast wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, rate, review, all that fun stuff. Follow us on social media at To The Weekend Podcast. And until next week, you stay classy, my friend.
God, you're making me feel guilty about all the money I've spent now. You stay classy, my friend, too. Say it.
See ya.